Okay, now here's another 5-minute exercise. Consider an action that you took. It could be something trivial, like what to make for supper, or it could be who to marry. What other choices were available? List them as multiple choices in a quiz and add your own wit, pathos, and insight. I know there's a lot in this room. And later on, you can think about the order of your answers, but a lot of times you want to start with the least outrageous and build up to the most. All right, I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Good luck. Okay, that's 5 minutes. And by the way, did you ever think that 5 minutes could be an amount of time in which you could get anything useful done in terms of writing? I have found 15 minutes to be a beautiful amount of time. All right, once again, now this is actually quite a bit to do in 5 minutes. Would anybody like to share their quiz? Oh, we got somebody. I see Carol and Monica and iPhone. Amen yet. So let's start with Eric, and then we'll do Carol and Monica and whoever's on iPhone. Go ahead, Eric.
Can you hear me, first of all? Hello?
We can.
Yep. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yes, we hear you, Eric.
We're looking for musicians for the cadet band. Practice 2 times a week, play in the parade to Sunday chapel, probably participate in some parades. Who's interested? I looked up from the pail of water and scrub brush in front of me on the barracks deck. How do we audition? I asked. Thursday night, 1800, show up in the band room. Yes, sir, I said, and went back to my scrubbing. I'll be there. The only problem was that I played no instrument and couldn't read a lick of music.
Oh, you got pretty far with that. And it sounds like you're applying it to a novel or a memoir.
I'm just applying it. I'm applying it to a bit of flash fiction that I'm playing with.
Oh, great. Okay, Carol. Thank you.
This one has, after years of study and months of job applications, you actually have a choice of jobs, which is never the case now, but it was the case when I graduated. You will, 1, take the job that offers the most pay, despite the fact that the boss is a known ass and a notorious womanizer. 2, you'll take the job you're passionate about, despite the company's not having 2 nickels to rub together. Or 3, you'll take the job in a faraway city just to get out of the rut you're in.
Ooh, nice. You know, and that could be in a sort of unusual form novel. Okay, Monica.
Okay. You wrote a letter to the New York Times commenting on the outrageous suggestion that a way out of the deficit might be to forgive all debts in the US and start over. What would happen in real life? A, my neighbor, who has lent me money over the years, knowing that she will never see it back, would suddenly be outraged that she is forced to give up on me paying it back. She has a gun. B, who knows what might happen in a country where everyone has a gun? Major chaos. C, AI companies who have borrowed billions to finance our future would be rewarded for the risks they've taken and won't need to pay back a nickel. That's or I only got to 3.
That is a very interesting set of scenarios. Oh, excuse me. Oh, well, 3 is fine. 3 is the magic number in many ways. All right. Okay, let's see what we've got next here. So many memoirists write about parents and children. But I recently saw a suggestion to write about family members that you usually don't write about. And of course, I have a lot of choices. But sometimes you have to do, now, let's see. I'll just share one paragraph of this, but I was thinking about one of my mother's sisters, and this was Aunt Ruthie, and she worked in the Miro factory, and maybe some of you have some pans, like cake pans, or maybe, for example, an angel food cake pan that's in the Miro brand. Well, perhaps my aunt helped make it. And I looked up, well, I won't read the whole thing, but I looked up the Miro factory in that town, and I saw pictures of it. And so I just tried to imagine what her life might have been like working in that factory in the 1960s. So, do we have time, Sharon, for one more 5-minute writing about people that people have written about, family members?
Yeah, the time is all yours. You have until 7 o'clock, including the Q&A. So there's lots of wiggle room.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, well then, let me see if there was anything I wanted to point out. Well, I will read that first paragraph because maybe it will give you some ideas about close-ups and far away. So I didn't want to spend too much boring time describing the town of Manitowoc or even the factory, but I wanted to describe it a little bit. So I said, I try to imagine Aunt Ruthie's life when she worked in the Miro factory in Manitowoc, a giant brick building that took up almost a city block. That's something I only knew from research. Mornings, she must have gotten up early, taken the curlers out of her hair, put on her lipstick and powder, made coffee and eggs with toasted Wonder Bread, put a long cigarette between her long fingers, and smoked at the dinette table, which was aluminum edged and aluminum legged with a Formica top. Maybe she put on her boots, winter coat, and mittens, lit another cigarette, and walked down the hard ice sidewalk, blowing out a mixture of white breath and smoke in the frigid air. So, do all of you have an overlooked family member, or if you had a small family, is there a collection of friends or, people that might actually be interesting that you haven't thought of writing about? And if you're primarily a fiction writer, is there somebody in your main character's life that you might want to bring to life a little bit more? So imagine this person doing something in a particular setting. And one thing I find extremely helpful is to have them have something in their hand that they're about to use or are using. It's very characterizing. Okay, let's give that, should we give it 7 minutes? Okay, and that is 7 minutes. Did I overlook someone who wanted to read their last one?
Oh, that's okay. It was a repeat from somebody else had a similar idea.
Oh, well, I still would like to hear it.
It was rather short.
You want to?
Yeah, okay. You're desperate for a job. It's been almost a year and you've had no bites at all. Then one day your inbox explodes from a post you made on LinkedIn. Overnight, you had 300 comments, surprisingly all positive. Suddenly, people are clamoring to interview you. Do you, A, agree to the highest paying job, high stress that will most likely burn you out in a year? You can do this. You've done it before and you have the gray streak to show for it. Take the lower paying job that's steady work. Nothing too crazy, but no room for advancement. The safe option your family thinks is best. Or C, put everyone on pause and take a sabbatical. Your family never did know what was best after all.
So, that was quite individual, though. Thank you. They wrote wrote, the one about the overlooked character or family member. Anyone?
I have the beginning of something, and it's
Okay.
it's not a completed thing, but I appreciate the prompt. Um, my grandmother traveled with her family from Kansas to California in a covered wagon. The year was 1915. Modern people traveled by train or motor trucks if they were wealthy, but her parents were farmers and couldn't afford such luxuries. They traded 2 cows for a neighbor's old covered wagon slowly falling apart in the barn, hitched it to their horse, and headed west. I wonder how my grandmother, a teenager, felt traveling in such an old vehicle. So I stopped there, but I thought, I wonder if she was embarrassed to be seen in a covered wagon.
Yeah.
I hadn't really thought of that at all, but teenager, you want to be proud, and here you are in this stupid old covered wagon.
Right.
So I will work on that. Thank you.
What a unique situation. I had no idea that in 1915 people were doing that, even a few. So that's
Great.
really amazing. Anybody else?
Okay, my spinster Aunt Millie lived with her sister Frida and Frida's husband Harvey. Harvey was sweet, but Frida was taciturn and subject to bouts of depression. As a child, I always wondered why Millie, who loved life and children so much, had no husband or children of her own. Each morning, Millie boarded the trolley for her tedious, low-paying job in Cleveland at the bookbindery. But the Millie I knew was the one who gave me my own book bound book to fill. The one who decorated the annual Christmas tree with sparkling bubble lights, arranged Hummel figurines in fanciful formation, and hid colorful Easter eggs in Frida's weed-riddled garden. A generous woman of generous proportions, her signature outfit was a black dress with white polka dots and a frilly lace collar that jiggled when she laughed.
Oh, I love that last detail. And also, what a unique thing to get your own bound book because now that's something I would research. I'd like find out all about book binderies in Cleveland and thank you. Anyone else? And I guess I want to leave a few minutes for questions and answers at the end. Is that right, Sharon? Normally?
Yeah, we usually leave about the last half hour, so whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's see if any other people want to share, and then we'll go to Q&A. Anyone else? Okay.
I try to imagine my father in his teens. He must not have eaten breakfast before he left home for school every day. He would fill up his pockets with raisins and roasted chickpeas and set out. He probably came home for lunch, riding his hand-me-down twice bicycle, throwing raisins and chickpeas in his mouth with one hand and clutching the shaky handlebar with another. He must have seen a cadre of women washing clothes and cleaning vegetables in his courtyard and turned right around to sit in the schoolyard waiting for the calligraphy period to begin.
Oh, what a unique scene. Wow, I love it. I love that you put the particular food, the snacks he would have brought. Oh, MJ, I see your hand. Let's go ahead and we'll just have a really short Q&A.
All right, no, this will be real short. Just some words. I'm writing about a neighbor of my parents. Joanne worked at Macy's in the mall after her husband died. They lived in a trailer court. Joanne rearranged the cut glass crystal on the shelves in the homewares department. She tidied them all day because people had picked them up with their oily hands and moved them around. They were quite a mix, quite a mess. Joanne said, "Can I help you with the glasses?" to a customer. "What are these goblets?" "Goblins," asked the customer. "They sound like ghosts, goblins." "Why are they called goblets?" Joanne said, "Well, frankly, I don't know." That's all as far as I got. She was a character.
Oh, love it. You know, it's funny, speaking of Macy's, I was once on a bus and I sat next to a woman who had been a bra fitter for Macy's.
Oh my God.
Doesn't that sound like a unique job?
Oh God.
There must have been stories. Okay, do we have any questions?
I have a question, Lita. Well, Lita, you have been my writing mentor for quite a while now since COVID. What do I do when nothing comes, no creative juices come my way for weeks? What do you recommend? I know you have talked about this, but maybe you can.
Yeah, well, one thing that I do is I find an object. Sometimes I just looked out the window and I would start paying close attention and describing what I see. And sooner or later, your concerns will emerge no matter what you're writing about. So I would say start looking, really looking at an object or a photo, and then describe it in as much detail as possible. And sometimes that will lead you, it will turn into something you can use in a novel, for example, or it will have some other use, just getting that. Flash fiction is usually, I've seen it as much as 1,500 words, but generally 1,000 is the limit. And that's pretty much, it's supposed to be, there are many, many kinds of flash, and I will share with Sharon a list of some of my favorite sites where you can read flash, and then some places, almost every literary journal wants flash nowadays, whether it's creative nonfiction, which is what flash memoir would fall under, or whether it's fiction. And sometimes you can just call your creative nonfiction fiction if you don't mind lying. Monica.
Okay. Hi, Lita. I just want to
Hi.
give a plug for your creative writing, one creative writing prompt a day, which when I'm in Yagna's situation, I often turn to that because I write a drabble 100 words once a week. And I come up with the weirdest stories. It's really fun. So with this creative writing book, sometimes the prompts are, because I only write 100 words, are a little more involved than what I can deal with. How do you take a prompt and sort of size it to the number of words you want to write? Because I mean, that's with Flash, it's so many different. You can do 100, 50 words, 100 words, 500 words, 400 words, 750 words in Flash fiction form. I mean, it's Wild West out there. So I'm really curious about your approach to prompts because you do such wonderful prompts. Sorry if I sound like an ad for Lita.
Hey. Well, I appreciate it. Sometimes a story just wants to be bigger and it won't be flash. But other times, like I have a novel that's well along, it started as a flash fiction. So it just depends. Sometimes you just start going with the character in the situation and you take it in more, you add more days, you add more people, more details. I wish I could say more about that, but I think that sometimes you just have to write it and see if it fits that form. And sometimes it's just too big. I have to admit, I find the 100 and 200 ones really hard to write. I seem to need about 500 or 600 words to feel like it's a story. And the truth is, there are very few of the really short ones that I actually like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah. How do you get plot into it?
Bye. Thanks.
Oops, sorry, I missed the last part of it, Monica.
You were
okay. Let's
to
see
the next. Bye and thanks.
In the chat here. Monica versus scene. Well, you really can't have more than one scene in a flash fiction. So everything gets compressed except a really characterizing detail or maybe a stunning event. And you almost can't have more than a sentence at the beginning, and a lot of the endings are extremely abrupt. There might be one sentence of dialogue, if any, but you do need a few really up-close details, I think. But you can try writing it as a fairy tale. That's a very compressed form, or a fable. Or, yeah, so the fable form is a good one for having a little bit of an arc. A lot of times I'll take, well, okay, I'll give you one of my prompts that people have had a great success with. Two people are at work in some kind of conflict. Write about that conflict, first something bad happens, then something worse happens, then something even worse happens, and then you end it with some very quick, it might be something that someone says or something that hints at what's going to be the outcome. And I would often say you have to have beer, a fax machine, and a piñata in your story. And believe it or not, people would produce great stuff because they would have to be really inventive. And I got the idea by driving down San Carlos Avenue, and there was a little bodega that had on its sign, beer, fax, piñatas. And I thought, wow, what a store. I don't think there is a typical structure, Elizabeth. Flash fiction is all over the map. And I will, let me see if I can cut and paste some of these journals into the chat so you can take a look for yourself and see. It's just all over the map. And I'll tell you, my very favorite website for flash memoir is Brevity. And if you are on Blue Sky, which I just started getting more active on, Smokelong Quarterly is always posting places where you can publish flash fiction. I love Smokelong. I met the editors, and last time Flash Fiction Forum met, we shared it with Smokelong Quarterly. The editors of the journal chose 6 of our readers, and we chose the other 6, and it was so much fun. And they're such great people. I love it when really great people are successful. So I put it in the flash now. Brevity, CNF means creative nonfiction, which is the category that little memoir flash pieces would fall under. And then Flash Flood is a British journal. The Brits are really into flash fiction. They have a flash fiction day in June and a big festival and prizes, and that would be a fun thing to go over to the UK for. Then Monkey Bicycle that's a great one to look at many different kinds of flash fiction, and Wig Leaf is probably one of the most famous ones. They have a prize for if you get a Wig Leaf prize, you really hit the jackpot. And then if you just do calls for submission Dribble on Google or calls for submission Drabble, you'll find other little journals. And then last of all, I really like these 3 sites. there's so many scams for writers nowadays. So many people are trying to take advantage of writers that these three are very legit. And what you find there, you can pretty much count on as not being just like an AI. There are AI journals now. And they're just there to collect a fee. That's all. Okay, did I miss any questions? I guess we've gone a little bit over, Sharon. Sorry.
Oh no, actually you've got 20 minutes left on the clock because we go 5:30 to 7. But that's okay. We have 20 minutes left. And I just,
that's all right.
do you have anything you want to add? Because if not, I was going to just say that in addition to going to your reading series, Eric Cederblom, who's with us tonight, also hosts with the Marin. I think it's the Marin chapter of the California Writers Club, right? That your group comes from, Eric, who does Writers Night Out.
It is a Writers Night Out. We are a sister organization to the Marin chapter of California Writers Club, but independent of it. And it is a forum where we get an open mic, 5-minute readings, which is essentially the length of a good piece of flash fiction. And generally 25 to 30 people in the audience, drinks in hand, and a rollicking good time in a dive bar in Fairfax.
And free pizza. Don't forget the free pizza.
Oh, that sounds delightful. Thanks for sharing that.
It's actually really fun. I actually drive all the way up from San Jose to Fairfax to do that because it's such a fun night. And also, Eric, for those who don't know how long 5 minutes is, it's about 7. You worked out to 700.
750 words is a good target.
And you meet the first Tuesday of every month, right?
First Tuesday of every month, and the website writersnightout.com. Take a look there, and you can get the info about upcoming guest speakers and the event of the evenings.
And
thank you.
What is the bar? What is the bar's name?
The bar is Max on Broadway.
Okay.
But let me know if you guys are going, and we'll see if it's a month that I'll be there.
Oh, well, I will say a little bit more about flash fiction and the flash fiction community.
That'd be great.
So I just put flashfictionforum.com. 4 times a year, we present about a dozen writers reading their flash fiction, and we cut it off at 7:50. Because for reading aloud, we find that when it goes beyond 7:50, we can see the audience getting restless. So 7:50 or fewer, we're very happy with fewer. And if you go to our website and you want to submit something, several people here have been readers for Flash Fiction Forum, and every now and then we'll get a really big wheel. Like we had the poet laureate of Mississippi. And, people I meet at writers' conferences, and sometimes I'll see somebody's beautiful flash fiction and invite them to read it. But it takes place at Works Gallery in downtown San Jose. And it's on the second Wednesday. Our next one is going to be November 11th, so that's easy to remember. It starts at 7, goes on till about 8:30, and we get together at a local restaurant beforehand. So it's a fun community. I hope you can make it, Sharon, one of these times.
I'd love to come.
I have to remember to invite you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Sure. The place where I got the idea about metaphors is Monkey Bicycle, the magazine called Monkey Bicycle. because they have a particular spot where they ask their writers to describe their work as a metaphor. And some of those metaphors are really, really fun. Any other questions? Like questions about more questions about the writing life and how to get through various kinds of obstacles?
No, I think that everyone has been stimulated, asked their questions, encouraged to attend. It's actually kind of fitting because this being a short form workshop, I should keep it on to a short.
Oh, that's so funny.
So, and in the meantime, good luck with all your flash writing, everyone, and all your projects, and we'll hopefully see you again next month. And bye, and thank you very much, Lita.